You might need to change who you are to get to be the person you need to be. So you have to be in a constant ability to be put through the fire, to be refined, and to come out more pure, better, stronger, to be able to become the person to create the thing that you're envisioning. When I was younger, and even now, you see me like interviewing people, asking them questions, the why, the how, what's the logic, how do they think, how do they get there? And that's what really helped me to understand their mindset. So what I learned is, if you want to be like someone, take on their mindset. You need to take on their mindset to get their blessings. If you don't do that, you can't take on their blessings because you are not fit to handle it. But if you take on their mindset, you start thinking like them, you start understanding to be logical like them, so then you can be prepared to take on that blessing. Because if you understand what they did, but then you don't take on their mindset, you won't ever be able to have the tools and the fit and the stomach, the fortitude to be able to actually take on that risk. You know, my brother studied all of these factors on, and I even got him when he was in like middle school, the MCAT books to study to be a doctor. Because he said he wanted to be a doctor, my mom wanted him to be a doctor, all of that. Well, he never truly took on the mindset of a doctor because he couldn't stand the sight of a needle. He's a big guy, but if you saw a needle, he'll faint.
Wow.
So it didn't work out. Couldn't take on the mindset. So you have to take on the mindset and then to be able to take on the gut. Because you first have to mentally understand it, but then you have to be able to bear that type of stress. So a lot of people, their issue is they can't take on debt. It's too stressful for them.
Yeah.
So what's good about our syndication is when they syndicate with us, I'm the guarantor of the debt. I take the weight of the liability of the loan. That is a benefit of working as a team.
Yeah, for sure. And having like-minded people join and lock arms with you.
Yeah. So I was telling people, even if you're not planning to do the real estate business on your own, it's a good idea to take the course to have an understanding. Because even if you're not going to do it, for example, how do you truly appreciate a sport? How do you truly appreciate basketball or football? By knowing all of the rules of the game and understanding how hard it is for those athletes to achieve the results they're getting. Then you can truly value it.
Yeah.
But if you're like looking at a syndicator or an investor and you're like, I could do that. When you look into all the details and you realize, wow, they make that look easy. A lot of things that I do online, people are like, oh, that looks easy. And they try to attempt it and they're like, wow, that was not easy.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand the skills it takes to achieve those results. And by taking the course, by educating yourself in what you're going to invest in, you want to really know. Because the other reason is, if the person you're investing with doesn't know the basics of what you're learning in the course, maybe you don't want to invest with them.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be like, well, if I know this and I'm not in the business and you're the investor, you're the syndicator, and you don't know this?
Yeah.
Like, someone called me about, we have a mortgage company. We provide loans on 1 to 4 family and hard money loans. Someone called me because they needed help. This investor was buying like 4 properties at one time and they needed help. And she's actually a chiropractor, makes good money through her practice. I was answering her questions, had a good conversation. And then I was mentioning tax. We also have a tax business. We specialize in accounting for real estate professionals and high net worth individuals. So I was mentioning tax benefits to her deal and how, she should do this and that and whatever. And, I'm like, but you probably know this because your accountant, is probably telling you this stuff anyway. She's like, no, he's not good. She's like, I got audited a few years ago and I was afraid of changing accountants because I don't know how the other accountant's going to handle if they look through our books again. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to look into this. You need to look into real estate professional designation. And then I was also mentioning, because she was buying a lot of properties and she had buying 10 units. And I was talking about the different type of loans she's getting. She's like, I don't know what that is. And then I was telling her, okay, well, you need to make sure you're getting a cost segregation model. She's like, I don't know what that is. And, you need to make sure that you know, because if you don't know and you don't ask your professional about it, and then you realize they don't know, then it might not be the right person on your team. They're probably a great person on your team to get you to where you are, but there might not be the right person to get you where you want to go.
Right.
So you need to keep that in mind, is that the team that brought you and the person that brought you to where you are, you might need to change who you are to get to be the person you need to be. So you have to be in a constant ability to be put through the fire, to be refined, and to come out more pure, better, stronger, to be able to become the person to create the thing that you're envisioning.